What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the REVELSations podcast. It's your boy, Dr. Revels, but we're all friends and family here. You can call me Rev. Please subscribe, rate, and review wherever you get your podcast. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell an enemy that you are listening to the REVELSations podcast. Share this with somebody. Please contact the show directly, the REVELSations podcast. That's on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. You can also email me directly, REVELSationsPodcast@gmail.com. I am so happy that you all decided to join me today for this verse. And that is the topic of today, decisions. You decided to join me. So decisions is the name of this verse. So let's get to 4 dictionary definitions, words that you'll hear through this so we can all know that we're on the same page. Let's get to it. So the first one is decide. To decide is to come to a resolution in the mind as a result of consideration. Decide takes into account consideration, meaning you have to think about things. This is not instinctual. Instinctual things you just do, right? You don't necessarily decide. If there's a fly in my face and I swat it, I didn't necessarily decide because I didn't consider. It was an instinctual thing. But decide is to come to a resolution in the mind as a result of consideration. Then decisions. A decision is the act of choosing something after considering multiple options. So when you're doing it, when you're deciding in actions, you are making decisions. Again, the act of choosing something after considering multiple options. Decisions we make every day can be as small as, what are we going to wear? What are we going to eat? To big as, who are we going to marry? What career we're going to have? Where we're going to live? We make decisions all the time, constantly making decisions. Some big, some small. The other 2 words that we have, process. The process is a series of actions or events that are performed to achieve a result or make something happen. Again, the process is a series of actions or events that are performed. These can be performed out of the body or in the mind. You can perform actions in your mind. You can perform thoughts in your mind to achieve the result or making something. Making what? Making a decision. Okay? That is the process. And then finally, the result. It is a consequence, the effect, or the outcome of something. You decided in your brain, that process called making the decision. You processed it by thinking about multiple options, and then you came to a conclusion or you came to a result, and as the consequence or the effect of something happening, or the consequence or effect or outcome of something. So we got that. We understand these words. Decide, decisions, process, and results. I'm going to ask you my essential question for this verse. Would you rather have, listen closely, would you rather have the right person making the wrong decision or the wrong person making the right decision? I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. Would you rather have the right person making the wrong decision or the wrong person making the right decision? I'm going to get to my answer a little later in the verse, but I want you to think about that, have it in the back of your mind as you continue to listen. Okay, so what if I told you that your decisions that you make, the conclusions that you come to, the resolutions that you have after considering, the results are what they are. The decision is good or bad, no matter the result. The decision you make is a good choice, a good decision, or a bad decision, no matter the result. Most people say, no, Rev, I don't agree with that. I have some examples I'm going to give you. My argument is the decisions we make are good decisions, even if it turns out really bad, or bad decisions, even if it turns out really good. I don't mean to be insensitive here with this example I'm going to give, but I think it'll bring some clarity and intentional heaviness to it so we can understand how impactful some of our decisions can be. So the decision to wear a seatbelt when you get in the car, no matter the outcome, it is a good decision to wear your seatbelt. Now, I know some people. I got a good friend of mine who does not wear seatbelts. I think this person should always wear seatbelts. It is a good decision to wear seatbelts. Seatbelts save lives. Most of us can attest to that. We know the numbers on seatbelt saving lives. It is a good decision to put your seatbelt on, even if, and in the rare case, because it does happen sometimes, where the seatbelt in a car accident is the reason somebody suffers a major injury and or death. Again, not trying to be insensitive, but trying to bring some gravity, some heaviness to it so you can really think about the decisions. Putting a seatbelt on is a good choice, is a good decision. We're weighing the odds here. It is good no matter the result. I don't think there's any EMT, any fire marshal, or anybody that shows up at the scenes of accidents that says that was a bad decision that that person put their seatbelt on, because the fact is they passed away because of the seatbelt. That does happen. They would still say it is a good decision to wear your seatbelt. Let's put it in reverse. For those people who do not wear their seatbelts, it is a bad choice to not wear your seatbelt. Even if you get in a car accident and you were saved by not wearing your seatbelt, you were playing the odds, right? It's like playing with a fire and not getting burned. It would be hard to say that's a good decision to play with the fire. See, I didn't get burned. Yeah, the result worked out in your favor, but I would still say it was a bad choice. Decisions. Our decisions are made, good and bad, based on our process, not the result. The process we have, not the result. The process, the series of actions or events. I get in the car, I put the seatbelt on because I know the seatbelt saves lives. I drive carefully, or even if I drive recklessly, my decision is a good one that I put the seatbelt on. It's a good decision no matter the result. Making something a little bit smaller. I really love sports. My friends love sports. We talk about sports all the time, and we talk about coaches making decisions, especially in American football. Go for it on fourth down or kick it. And people say, oh man, he shouldn't have went for it because they didn't get it. And I'm like, no, it was a good choice whether they get the first down or not, or it was a bad choice whether they get the first down or not. Another example in sports. Sorry for people that don't love sports, but if you really want to understand what Rev is talking about, you're going to have to learn a little bit about some games. So American football again, when players are running and they stretch the ball out toward the end zone, that is a bad decision, even if they score. Why is it a bad decision? Because the risk of if the ball is fumbled, it goes to the other team. It's a high risk, I guess you could say, high reward play, but it's a bad choice no matter if they score the touchdown or they don't. And many coaches teach, don't do it. It's not worth it. But coach, it worked out these 7 other times I did it. I understand it worked out, but it's still a bad decision no matter the result. Think about your life. Have you ever made have you ever had a bad result, even though you know what? Man, I made good decisions. I did this right, and it just didn't work out for me. Or have you ever met, that really worked out for me, but I was really messing up. I had a lot of things that I did wrong in the process. I made a lot of bad decisions, but it still worked out for me. That is called grace and mercy. That is called chance. Chance happens to us all, right? Time and chance happens to everyone. So even if we make good choices, we make good processes, and the result is bad, doesn't mean that we made a bad decision. And just because we make terrible processes and the result turns out good, doesn't mean that we made a good decision. The decision is considered good or bad based on the process, the thinking, the events that we go through that are performed to achieve the result. The result itself happens. The result is happenstance. And if we live our life based on making good decisions over and over and over again, we'll be able to live with the 3 to 4 to 5% of the time that the decisions don't work out in our favor. And we'll have a great life because we've been making good decisions time and time and time again. So I ask you again, what would you rather have? The right person making the wrong decision or the wrong person making the right decision? Let me explain that a little bit more. I don't necessarily want to talk about life or death, because if it's life or death and it's like the decision is I'm going to live or die, I would rather have the wrong person making the decision that I'm going to live. Let's take the extremes out. Let's just take our everyday lives. Would we rather have the right person? Who is the right person? The person that is most prepared, the person that is most experienced, the person that is most loving. Would we rather have them make a decision and it not work out? Or will we pick the person who is less experienced, less intelligent, less loving, the person that doesn't have our interests at heart, and they make a decision and all of a sudden it happens to work out for us? My choice would be the right person making the wrong decision. Why is that? Because if I continue to choose the right person, over time, I will have more great outcomes. I will have better results because the decision is good or bad, regardless of the result. Now, there's another question. What makes a person right? What makes a person wrong? I'm happy you asked. Come back for verse 4 next week on the REVELSations podcast. Again, subscribe, rate, and review wherever you get your podcast. Contact the show directly, the REVELSations podcast. That is on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. You can also contact me directly, the REVELSations podcast at gmail.com. I am because we are. Hallelujah, holla back. Peace.
Yeah, the Revelations now televised. A platform for you and I. An outlook with full heart and clear eyes. Now, these are just my thoughts. Truth on how I feel on these topics I reveal. Please know my toll, I always keep it real. Can't face the word if you can't face facts. For your time, just open up your mind. That's it, just live, think big, now take that. With God in me, this here was made by design. Yeah, the revelation will be televised. REVELSations.